tea. Like,
What?
they refuse everything.
See, I would have been like Trash Willy Wonka, where I'm like,
Yes.
get a crew out there. If you help me, you will get like $5 million.
Yes.
Like, this is my golden ticket.
And
this
he
is
does.
our golden ticket. He does?
And he does.
Oh my
So
God.
at this point, when they issue the refusal in December 2017, the price has skyrocketed to $143 million.
Let's take a sip of tea of the town.
Hello, y'all. I'm Linda.
And I'm Caitlin.
We bring you the biggest dramas
From the smallest microcosms.
Welcome to
Tea of the Town.
I have some very fascinating tea for you today. And it's not really the normal sort of community we would dive into.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see your take and how you react to it.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Okay. So today we are diving into the drama of the guy that lost $1 billion of Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
$1 billion of $1 billion.
It's like Doctor.
It's like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I am locked in. I'm ready.
have you heard this story before?
No, I have not.
Okay. So I had actually heard this story. Like, seen some like headlines.
Yeah.
I didn't even know any of the the basic
Yeah.
details. So I found there was some recent news about it, and I looked into it and I'm like, oh, I gotta spill the tea on this one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So our main character for this story is Mr. James Howells.
James Howells.
Mr. James Howells. I'm not going to call him the unluckiest man for losing $1 billion.
I think you could. I think he's
good.
at the very least, he's top 10. At the
For
very
sure,
least.
this poor guy. So I'm going to take you through the timeline.
Okay.
From like the very beginning to when he mined the Bitcoins through to the end.
Oh.
And I'm going to also tell you my conspiracy theories about this whole thing.
Oh, I love a good conspiracy theory. I'm so excited.
Like, I watched a ton of interviews because he's done a ton of media interviews
Yeah.
throughout the whole time period where he's been kind of trying to find and recover these Bitcoins.
Okay.
So I watched a ton of those, and really that was my primary source of information. So my reaction is going to be basically like my point of view about the interviews and what I think some conspiracy theories could be. So,
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
And just like a caveat also for anyone who is watching, and also for you, which I know you wouldn't do, but do not take anything I say as serious financial advice. We are talking about Bitcoin, a financial instrument, but like, trust and believe, I am not the one you want to listen to about anything financially related. So
Noted. Absolutely
this
noted.
was a story. This is alleged. This is not the truth, unless maybe it is. We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. I'm going to tell you from the beginning. And every single part of this timeline, I'm going to tell you the value of the Bitcoin at the time the event occurs.
Oh, I love this.
So this is where it all starts.
Okay.
First thing that happens is James discovers this concept of Bitcoin. So he's a guy who works in IT. He was really into peer-to-peer sharing, like way back in the day.
Yeah.
So he was, a LimeWire geek. He was a Napster geek. He loved the concept of peer-to-peer sharing because he was an IT guy.
Okay.
And after the financial crisis of 2008, he sort of let's say lost faith in regular currency because of all of those things that happened.
That's fair. That was like a really tumultuous time financially. Like I remember the housing market crashing. I remember it was tough for a lot of people. So I can totally understand him like looking for alternatives.
Totally. And so back in 2009, he was on one of the like discussion forums or chat rooms, and he saw someone post about this concept of Bitcoin and this concept of blockchain. And if you don't know what it is, I'm going to very poorly explain it to you in a very short amount of time. It's basically a concept where it's similar to peer-to-peer sharing, where like the file is everywhere. It's not just, one centralized place.
Yeah.
And so you can create sort of a public wallet or a public blockchain where all of the transactions are published, and it's sort of more permanent. It never goes away because it's across all of these devices, right? And so that's how Bitcoin was born. And he claims to be anyway, back in 2009, one of the first people who actually started mining Bitcoin.
Wow.
So he claims when he started mining Bitcoin, there were only like 4 or 5 other people who were mining at the same time.
Wow. So like early like adopter.
The first. Yeah. Okay. This is what he claims, right? And so this was back in 2009. He starts mining. He sees this concept. And the way that you mine is basically like you tell I'm really badly explaining this, but essentially like you can have your computer set up to try to solve all of these like problems. And the first computer to like solve the problem gets the Bitcoins in the block that's released. And so back then it was 50 Bitcoins per solution. So like if your machine or your device was the first one to like mine the coin or solve the problem, then your machine would get the reward. And so everyone can put their machines on it, and then there's a single reward that comes out of it every so often, right?
I'm not gonna lie, because I've heard of the concept of mining Bitcoin. I didn't really understand it. I didn't put too much thought into it, but I did imagine it being like somebody with a mine, like in Minecraft with a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Like literally physically mining for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to stick with that explanation in my mind because I just like it better.
That's essentially what it is. I mean, it's just like a computer digging through problems with its own like digital pickaxe. Sure. Yeah. Right? That's what it is.
Love it.
And that's what we're gonna
go with. Okay.
So that's the visual. And back then the rewards were super high. So there's this thing that happens with Bitcoin where like the number of coins in each block halves every so often. I think it's every 4 years. I can't remember. Do not quote me. And so the value of those coins increase because more and more people are actually trying to get the Bitcoin over time, but there's less and less inventory of Bitcoin to be had.
Okay.
So that means that it theoretically is something that will always retain or grow in value. Look, again, I am not a financial person. Do not trust anything I'm saying here, but this is kind of how it works. So anyway, he was fascinated by this idea. Yeah. He starts mining it. And at this point, Bitcoin is worth nothing. It's just a concept. And he was interested in it. So he started setting up his computer to mine it like at night. And he had this kind of bum laptop that he would set up and have it run at night. And he mined a bunch of very, very early Bitcoin. And he this is his story. He said that his girlfriend at the time got very annoyed with him running the computer at night because it was like causing too much noise.
Oh.
So he didn't mine it for a very long time, but because it was so early, he collected a lot of Bitcoins. Oh. So he stopped doing it because his girlfriend was complaining. It was like, okay, I won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But it was like 50 Bitcoins, every so often with like only 5 other people. So he collected a lot. And so at this point, early on, he was claiming it was 7,500 Bitcoins that he collected over time, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Is a lot for, now. Then it was worth $0. So
yeah.
Nobody really cared. So he kind of forgets about it. Like, this is what happens to us. He kind of forgets about it. And he ultimately ends up dismantling the computer that he used to mine the Bitcoins. But he never throws away the hard drives because he always kept the hard drives. He knew that he had his like digital key for the Bitcoins that he had mined on that hard drive. So he kept it.
Okay.
And he put it in a drawer. But he didn't want the laptop anymore. I think he like spilled lemonade on it or something. So it was just like he took it apart and whatever.
Fair enough.
So this was about 2011 when he said he dismantled the computer and stored the hard drive in his desk. In his office.
And at this time, the Bitcoin is worth 200,000.
That's right. So the Bitcoin went up in value very significantly, but he didn't really register it. Like he wasn't really thinking about
it.
Or
so it was just
it.
Totally out of his head. Yeah. He's not following it. So he doesn't realize he has this
treasure
trove of Bitcoin that's just racking up value.
Yes. And these are approximate values. So what I did is I looked at like the approximate time that he said he did the thing. And then I looked up the value of Bitcoin around that time and then just calculated. And this is a calculation based on 7,500 Bitcoin.
Okay.
I will say that like as the story goes on, it starts to drift and he starts saying and other people start saying that it's 8,000 Bitcoin.
Okay.
But I did these calculations based on 7,500 Bitcoin because that's all of the early interviews. That's what he was saying.
Got it.
That's what I'm sticking with.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, he was dismantling this computer and didn't even realize it was worth $200,000, which that's a lot already.
That's a lot. Like, I mean, honestly, if I had Bitcoin and I knew about it, like I'd be so squirrely that I would probably sell it by this point.
For sure.
Because that's a lot.
A huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money. So time goes on, right? And this is when it gets real crazy. So I'm going to tell you what he says happened.
Okay.
In the incident. And he's pretty consistent with how he tells the story. I watched a lot of different tellings of it that he has said over time, and he's really consistent with it.
Okay.
And so this is what he says happens. In 2013, he, again, was not really aware of the value of Bitcoin at this point.
Yeah.
Kind of put it in a drawer, didn't really think about it. He was cleaning out his office. Not that he wanted to throw it away, but he was cleaning out his office, and he had 2 hard drives that looked absolutely identical. One of them was just like a basic hard drive that was like older and it didn't have a lot of storage space, and it was supposedly like a blank one that he was intending to throw away. The other was the hard drive from that laptop that had his key on it and a bunch of other personal things like photos and stuff that he was not intending to throw away. And so what he says happened is as he's cleaning his office, he actually accidentally threw away or put in a trash bag. He didn't throw it away, but he put in a trash bag the wrong hard drive. And he put the hard drive, I think, like in the hallway after he's cleaning out his office. And then this is what he says happened. His girlfriend, the next day, what he says is he intended to go through the bag again just to make sure it was all the right stuff, because he was cleaning out technology from his office. So he wants to double check.
Fair.
And the way he tells it, he like woke up in the middle of the night or woke up early in the morning and thought, oh, I need to check that hard drive before I take it out. Like, this is what he says.
Okay.
But before he can do that, his girlfriend finds the trash bag and is like, oh, let me take this out for him.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
so
my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. That's so rough. Like, for so many reasons, because just knowing, the value that it ends up incurring, like, not only did you swap it, so you're probably feeling bad.
Yeah.
But then the girlfriend being the one to be like, oh, I'm doing this nice thing. I'm taking out the trash.
Yeah.
And
she's helping out.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay, okay.
And keep in mind, at this point, the value of the Bitcoin when this happens is $800,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's almost $1 million at this point. So at this point, and this again is based on the 7,500 Bitcoin estimate. So she throws out $1 million inadvertently, and he didn't get to check it. She takes it to the garbage place. They call it the tip because this is in Newport in the United Kingdom. And so they call it the tip instead of the dump or the...
That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
The tip.
Cute, right? And so she takes it there. They dispose of it, of course, right?
Yeah.
And then he immediately realizes, oh, shoot. Yeah, I wanted to go through that again. But at the time he wasn't that interested. He was interested in it. He never says he's not interested in it. He was just like, he didn't go the same day or the next day to try to retrieve it.
Yeah.
It was actually about, I think it was about 6 weeks later when he came across an article on Bitcoin.
So he's wanting the hard drive because he's thinking, oh, it's got my family
photos,
it's got something. So he's not even thinking he's sad that it's thrown out, but for different reasons. He does not.
Yeah. He's not realizing that it's worth that much at this time. He just knows, he knows his digital wallet is on there, or his key for his digital wallet. So he still wants that. It's not as if he intended to throw that away or didn't care about that. But it was that, plus he had a bunch of other personal documents on there and photos that he absolutely wanted to keep.
Yeah.
So, you know, the $800,000 obviously motivates him to say, okay, now he realizes, oh my gosh, that was worth almost $1 million. It's going to be worth me trying to go find it and recover it. So he goes to the tip for the first time in August 2013. So this is about 6 weeks later. And he tries to see if he can retrieve it. And the people there are, from his telling of it, they're very nice, and they, you know, listen to him. They actually at one point take him out to the site where it would have been dumped that day, because they know, like, this is where they're dumping at certain times. But obviously by then it was like covered, like, how are you going to find it? And so he's like, oh my gosh, what do I do here? So this was the first time that he tried to recover things, which is not that long after the actual incident of throwing it away.
And again, he still is not thinking about the value of the...
Well, at that point he is. Oh, because at that point, the thing that motivated him to actually go
that's right.
was that he came across an article. Yeah.
If I knew that I had something worth $800,000 in the dump, I would tap into my inner raccoon.
Oh, I would be
and I would just be diving in the trash, just head first. Like I don't even care. Yeah. Like I would be feral in that dump.
Absolutely. That is my new swimming pool. Like, we are in there. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about in it.
Heck like
that's that's so God, that's so rough.
It's a lot. And so he is trying to figure out how he might be able to recover it. At this point, it's almost $1 million. That's a huge amount of money. Yes. And he's talking to people on different forums and different chats that understand and know Bitcoin, and he's kind of talking about it with them. Little did he know, someone from the media was in those forums and saw the story. Ooh. And this is the first time the media picked it up. So in November of 2013, someone saw his chats with other people about this incident, and the media picks it up and airs the story that, oh, you know, someone lost almost $1 million in Bitcoin. And at this point, November 2013, this is when it starts to skyrocket. So at this point, when the media starts to talk about it, it's actually worth $7.5 million.
And that's crazy, because just before that, so August 2013, it's worth $800,000. And then just a few months later, it's worth $7.5 million.
Exactly. This is when it starts to kind of skyrocket.
Oh my God. I can just imagine. Like, I feel like it would be like a pit in my stomach just growing. Like, that's painful.
And it did fluctuate. The price fluctuated a lot at this point. So it wasn't like it just was a steady incline. It did fluctuate a lot. But this is in November 2013, this is the approximate value. So, and some estimates were higher, because at this point there does start to be a drift into, it's 8,000 Bitcoins, which is worth, which is worth more.
Yeah.
But the narrative in the media, a lot of the stories that I found were like nearly $10 million. But this is my estimate based on what I saw the price of Bitcoin was, and the $7,500 Bitcoin that he claims were on.
God. Okay.
So this is getting crazy, right? Because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So this is what happens next. In December 2017, the Newport Council kind of refuses him to search the tip. So since the time the news breaks, and even before that, he'd been trying to negotiate with them to say, like, just let me search. Yeah. Can I please search? Like, I want to find it. And they refuse to let him even go on the property. Like, what? They refuse everything.
See, I would have been like Trash Willy Wonka, where I'm like, get a crew out there. If you help me, you will get like $5 million.
Yes.
Like, this is my golden ticket.
And
this is our golden ticket.
He does. And he does.
Oh my God.
So at this point, when they issue the refusal in December 2017, the price has skyrocketed to $143 million.
That is insane.
So we're now in crazy money.
Yeah.
We're now in like oh my God, like you never have to work again. And this becomes serious money even for Newport, right?
Yeah.
Imagine giving a portion of this to Newport. And so he does exactly that next. In January in 2021, he offers Newport 25%. And at that point in January 2021, it's up to $293 million.
Oh my God.
So this is not a small little fee. He basically, this is what is interesting about this one though. What I heard, there were different ways of saying what the offer was, but one of the interviews that I found with him said the offer was essentially, if I recover it, then I'll give you 25%, which is actually different than I'll just give you 25% or like I get the value, because that assumes that it's there and recoverable. So Newport would have had to take the risk and say, oh, I'm gonna let you like stop operations for the city garbage.
Yeah.
And potentially incur a lot of money. And there's obviously environmental concerns, right? Because you're like digging through a garbage thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, so they were very concerned with the environmental impact, the city operations, and they would have to take on all that risk just for the chance that they get 25%. And so they would have had to totally 100% believe him for this to be, you know, like, oh yeah, we'll do it.
And know? So there's just not enough evidence for them to like take on all this. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
So when I was thinking about it that way, I was like, oh, okay, it's not just like a given that he's gonna definitely go find it. Like they have to believe that it's there.
Yeah.
They have to also then weigh that against the environmental impact and weigh that against a scenario where they could possibly get nothing.
Yeah.
And then also have taken on all this other stuff. So, you know, I do understand why they said no, because there was no guarantee for them.
Yeah, and just knowing like, so it's been in the trash for like 8 years at this point.
More than 8 years.
More than 8 years.
Well, no, you're right. In the trash for 8 years.
Yeah.
Did in 2009.
So so it's like at that point, like who even knows if the hard drive is even like.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a little
That's
more sense.
one of the risks, is that it's not recoverable.
Yes.
Right. Because if they fish it out and it's covered in battery acid, then there's nothing
to do.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what happens next. First of all, the price of Bitcoin did drop. So at this point, it's only 167 million, which is still an insane amount of money.
Yes.
No question.
Oh my God.
But he puts together, this is August 2022, he puts together like a high-tech recovery plan. He puts together the, like, I would call it, and he calls it like, you know, the dream team of recovery plans. So he actually finds all of these experts in data recovery that he consulted with to be like, okay, is it recoverable? And then he estimates, based on his consultation with these experts, that it's like 80% chance they find it.
Wow.
So from a data recovery standpoint, it's pretty high, right? Because there's a couple of factors that he talks about in a couple of interviews. The first is that it's a hard drive. It's encased. So it's highly likely that the actual data storage is pretty well is protected to some degree.
Okay.
And also it's like it's surrounded by other trash. So it's not like it's like directly compressed in most circumstances. And so, yeah, there's tons of things that could happen. Like I said, battery acid could be like directly on top of it, leaking onto it, and it would destroy it. But also the other thing is, if it were a bigger file, like say it was a video that they needed to recover from a hard disk that was damaged, it would be really difficult because the data is stored like all over the place on the physical hard drive. And you have to like, all of it has to be recoverable, and then you have to stitch it all back together.
Yeah.
But in this case, they were only looking for a tiny little bit of data. It's just his key, right? So it's probably in one location.
Yeah.
So that it actually drastically increases the chances that it would be fine and they could recover it. So his estimate that he said in interviews a lot of times, I will say, like some of the later interviews, he like says, oh, it's, you know, definitely recoverable. But he says 80% in a lot of the initial interviews. So the data recovery is the first part.
Okay.
But he also gets on board all these other like logistics folks. So, sorry, one more note about the technical recovery. He really got experts. Like he got like the NASA guy who like recovered all the data from like Apollo 11 or 13 or something, like serious experts in the field. And so it was not just like, oh, I got my friend over here.
Yeah.
He got real experts to like come on board and say like, yeah, this is what I think you should do, and I'll be part of your team. And the other side of it was that he got this big company that is actually responsible for moving garbage dumps or tips, you know? So their whole thing is they excavate these dumps and they move it or they dispose of it, and they do it in a way that like protects the land. And so that's their whole thing. That's what they do for a living.
Got it.
And so he got them on board to say, okay, I have protection for the environment and a methodology for the land. I have the technical experts, and put those together, and I have a fully baked plan for how I'm going to recover this thing.
That's a lot. That's very comprehensive, which I mean, like with this amount of money on the line, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
At the same time, I can't help but think of like, you're hiring this dream team of people for the hopes of recovering
I know
this money, and it's just like, oh, I'm so scared to see how this unfolds.
Yeah. And he got financing too. He didn't get like financing to pay everyone. It was I think the impression that I got was that it was that he got like venture capitalists to back this effort, because obviously they have the cash.
Yeah.
They have the cash to pay for it all.
Yeah.
And to pay everyone. And they were going to take a stake in it. So it's like a bounty, right? So they're like, yeah, we'll back the initiative. I think it was like $10-20 million for the recovery effort, and it's $167 million.
Yeah, but the thing that's also kind of scary to think about is, like, as you pointed out, it's fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and the thing about Bitcoin, from my understanding, which is limited, so also don't quote me, is it's kind of like Tinkerbell's magic, where it only has the value that you
have in your heart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, if everyone stops believing in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like any currency, though.
I guess that's kind of
that's true. Like, we all think it's valuable, so we're like, I'll trade you these papers for that.
That's true.
For that good, my friend. And we're like, yeah, that sounds fair.
That sounds fair and right.
Let me give you this chicken for that paper.
Like, yeah. Well, I guess that's true. I think it's just you're so used to like that standard currency that we all grew up with. So
yeah,
Bitcoin's just so kind of outside the realm of what I'm used to, that I'm just like.
But it's a different concept, because it's like the blockchain is different than, gold backed or silver backed currency, for sure. And it's also obviously propped up by a government. Yeah. So there's like actual power and influence associated with that promise of money or promise of value.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different, but it's definitely like, So anyway, so this is where we're at. Then there's sort of this ongoing back and forth. Newport Council won't agree to this. And there's this ongoing back and forth between him, his team, the council. They're trying to get them to agree to this plan. They won't do it, right? And the value keeps going up and up and up.
Oh, it's 700.
By the end of this period in 2024, it's $720 million of value.
Boy, okay, that's yeah.
So we're not playing money.
We're not playing around. And I mean, if I were on that recovery team, I would be just as bought in, because I know that I'm going to get a sliver of this. That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So, and this is my estimate, but I will say, like, there were other estimates. If you take the 8,000 Bitcoin instead of 7,500, there were some estimates that were as high as like 990 million. So that's where the $1 billion number comes from. So depending on the price of Bitcoin that day, depending on if you think it was 7,500 or 8,000 or whatever it is, it fluctuates. But no matter what, it's like a stupid amount of money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Stupid amount of money. So then in December of 2024, still $720 million, there's this legal hearing on his right to excavate the tip. So he files this claim and basically says like, hey, I have a right to my property because I wasn't even the one that disposed of it, and I have a right to retrieve it. And so he made this whole legal claim and basically tried to litigate his way into being able to excavate.
Wow.
And which I understand. I mean, it's a fair strategy, right? You can't negotiate them if they're not going to like talk to you or be.
Yeah.
They don't want to take on the risk, even though you have this whole team together and a plan to fund it and all these things. So, I mean, yeah, he takes legal action. And unfortunately, though, in January 2025, the verdict is they don't buy it. They don't buy that there's even there. It's not validated that it's even there.
Yeah.
And also, essentially, they're like, well, also, anything that's thrown away is the property of the council. And so his claim was, well, I didn't throw it away. It's my property and I'm not the one who threw it away. And so that was part of his legal claim. And they're like, no, it's our property. So you basically the hard drive is our property. But they didn't say that the digital wallet was their property, right?
It was just
the physical hard drive. But the key is still his. The Bitcoin is technically still his. They didn't rule about that.
Access it.
But he can't access it.
And side question. At this point, is he still with his girlfriend?
So he was with his girlfriend for a very long time, but by this point they were broken up.
I can't help but think that this might have put some cracks in the foundation.
He did say, he actually commented on this in a couple of interviews that I watched, and he did say that like he does not blame her in any way, shape, or form, but he did say there were some moments where it was hard not to.
Yeah.
It was hard not to just have that feeling of like, ugh. Like, if you just hadn't done that thing. But, like, he says very clearly, like, she was trying to help. She was being a good partner.
Yeah.
She was, so, but I'm sure that he had moments where it's just like,
I totally would. I mean, like, how could you not? I think it's very human to be like, if my partner took a bag of money and threw it away,
fire,
I would be like, oh, I know you thought that bag of money was trash. It wasn't. And I don't like that.
I still love you.
I love you for the most part, but I'm a little mad about the bag of money.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
So that's a hard one. And the Bitcoin, again, it's going up and down a little bit. So when this verdict was put out, it kind of had dropped a little bit. So the value of Bitcoin is $693 million at this point. Still, obviously, a lot of money. And so in February 2025, James actually announces, I'm going to buy the landfill from you.
Well, hot damn.
Yeah, which is smart. I'm like, yeah, just buy it.
Just buy the
Because at this point, there's so much money. Like, he believes he can actually raise the money through just like selling a share of the Bitcoin. Wow. And so this is his plan that he announces. He's going to like sell, I think it was like he was planning to sell off like 21% of the rights to the wallet if it was recovered, and then raise the money to go and buy the landfill. And I was like, okay.
That's a clever strategy. Like, I gotta give him props. That's very outside the box. Like, it makes sense, but again, it's still such a gamble because, like,
what if it's not there?
It's not there, or, I know that they said that there's like an 80% chance of it being recovered, but what if you do all of that and then you find out that there's battery acid, or like, I don't know, rats have eaten it?
100% could have happened. Or the raccoon beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
Got down in there and was like, this looks tasty.
And just ate the shit out of it, Like, and that's the thing that kills me is I'm like, he's such an optimist, I feel like, because you have to be. But it also is such a significant amount of money that, like, I can see why he's just.
And this is years and years and years and years and years and years and years on. This, he mined it in 2009.
That's wild.
Yeah. So it, and it keeps going up. So it keeps like, it would eat away at me.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And it's going to keep going up. So it's like, all right. So this is what happened next. So the city council would not play ball at all. They just wouldn't even respond to his offer. They wouldn't sit down with him. He's very upset. He does, additional media interviews about it. So then in August 2025, he decides he's going to pivot. And so this is very recent, right? Just August of 2025, just last month or 2 months ago. And he decides he's going to pivot. And he's like, okay, if I can't retrieve my wallet, then I'm going to consider this tip my vault for the wallet. So he decides he's going to launch his own cryptocurrency, basically tokenizing the Bitcoin that's in the vault, which is the garbage, and he's going to launch this new cryptocurrency, and that's how he's going to get his money. And at this point, Bitcoin is continuing to go up. $850 million is the estimate for what it's worth at this point. And so this is what he announces that he's going to do. And this is very, very recent, right?
Yeah.
And so it's wild because it's like, I get where he's going.
Yeah.
And it's also just like building a whole new currency on the legend
I know that's
of your lost Bitcoin,
I mean, again, props to him. He seems like a very creative individual. And also, like, yeah, I think, if I lost a couple $100, I'd give it a, good honest try, a couple weeks. $1 billion, definitely, I can see why you'd, because that is something that will haunt you.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though? He said in one of the interviews, which I thought was so funny, he's like, that's not my biggest regret. Like, losing it is not my biggest regret. My biggest regret is not continuing to mine. Which I thought was actually logical.
That is logical.
Because if he had continued to mine, like some of the other very, very, very early, like the guy who founded it is like a mystery. No one really knows exactly who he is. But that person, whoever that person is, continued to mine long after he quit because his girlfriend didn't like the sound of the mining. And now has like, I don't know, a crazy, like, I think it was like $600 billion in Bitcoin, right? And so it's like that's his biggest regret.
I mean, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. But then again, if you think about it, if he had continued to mine and then he still lost it,
would be even more.
It would be even more, and that would be even harder to like.
And he would hate it.
Yeah.
So much.
So
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So this is what's happening currently, but now I'm going to give you my conspiracy theories.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So these are my thoughts in my own head that I came up with, not based in reality or fact. This is purely my reaction to hearing him tell his story over and over again.
Okay.
And I'm like, these are the tinfoil hats that I put on it as I was listening.
Uh-huh.
And I think some of them are maybe legitimate. Some of them are probably just like dumb as hell. But it's fine. Okay. So the first one is that he threw it away, not his girlfriend.
Oh.
Like, this is I actually think of all the things that are on my conspiracy list, my tinfoil hat list, I think this is the most likely one to be true.
Interesting.
And here's why.
Okay.
So it was a huge part of his legal claim to excavating the tip for him not to be the one to have thrown it away.
Oh.
So if his girlfriend threw it away accidentally, he's not the one who threw it away, therefore he still owns the property.
Got it. That actually makes sense.
I think that his girlfriend or his partner kind of took the fall or collaborated with him on the story because, and my other like side conspiracy theory is like maybe he had like a deal with her. Oh, like I'll cut you a slice of this is our story. Which is like legit, like
I would do it.
Yeah,
I would totally do it. I'd be like, yeah, I threw it away.
Yeah,
like for any slice of money.
Yeah. So that's my conspiracy theory is actually that this was like,
okay,
this is not what happened. He probably just threw it away. But then like to get the legal claim, they came up with this thing where like she threw it away and then they had a side agreement.
Got it.
This is my tinfoil hat theory.
Got it. Okay. So, I believed I'm bought into this one for sure.
I am too. Like of all the ones, I'm actually like, yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually says in one of the interviews, it was core to my legal case that I was not the one who threw it away. And the way that he said it, I was like,
it's very top of mind for him, clearly.
I'm like, okay, even though I will say he was very consistent even from the beginning.
Yeah.
But even, the first time he started searching for it was nearly $1 million. So he had a lot of reason to have his story lined up already.
Absolutely.
So that's my first theory.
Okay.
My second theory is he actually has no idea where the hard drive is. Because think about it. Like, I'm thinking about what happens when I lose things.
Yeah.
And so this is purely based on like my own weird brain.
Yeah.
When I lose stuff, I have to think through all the scenarios of like the last time I saw it. And usually I have like a picture in my head of where I think I last saw it, but I'm not always right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does he really know that he threw it away? Or is that his best guess because he realized it was valuable? And he's like, my best lead is that I threw it away. And I'm actually not sure of the whole sequence of events.
Imagine he like finds it in like some jean pockets and thinks like, oh, I did something.
Or he finds it like at his mom's house in his closet. It's like, hey, honey, I kept all your school papers.
Hi. I once had my whole family panic searching for my car keys for an hour just for me to be like, something scratches, and I had them in my bra the whole time.
Oh my God.
So like I like to think it's something like that.
So it's just in his bra.
It's just in his bra.
That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where it is.
Yep.
Totally.
Better
go check.
Totally. Sure. I know.
So this is my second theory, and I like middle believe this because he has been like very consistent about like that as the location, but I'm like, what other alternatives does he have?
Yeah,
like he probably did, he probably has searched in a bunch of other places.
Yeah,
and my side theory on this one is that the drive that he still has is the right drive, and he just accidentally wiped it. Because I do that all the time. Because he did explain the fact that like he dismantled it, but he saved the drive because you can always recover it, even though like the lemonade spilled on his whole laptop. And I'm like, well, what if he never could recover it? What if the lemonade damaged it? What if it was just wiped and he has it and he looked at it and he's like, oh, they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's my other conspiracy theory about this.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, oh God. And I feel like also with all of the things that are going on, with seeing the value increasing, with the time going by, I think it would be easy enough for your brain to just kind of mess things up
and misremember you believe that
things.
yeah and you're like, oh, I have a shot at $1 million, so let me pursue this chance even though I don't actually know exactly where it is. So this is okay. I have one more tinfoil hat conspiracy for you.
Love this.
And that is that this is the like unclaimed luggage theory. Or I'm calling it the unclaimed luggage theory because this is the only like equivalent that I could think of. Okay, so bear with me.
All right.
Okay, so when you go to the airport and you lose your luggage or whatever, usually they recover it, but like there's always a bunch of leftover luggage that never gets recovered. Then they end up like selling it off because like otherwise it just goes unclaimed. And so this is my other tinfoil hat conspiracy, and I have no basis in reality for this. Like, I'm like, well, what if he just knows how Bitcoin works and like looked back at the blockchain from way back then and like found all of the blocks with no transactions since the beginning and was like, oh, I'm just going to pretend or claim that these are mine and they're lost and then hope that I can like get them somehow or like claim that they're mine.
I like that.
And I have this like whole, and then he has this like elaborate plan to go and pretend it's in the dump. And like, this is full tinfoil hat, right?
Yeah.
So, but this is my theory is like, he didn't actually have that many Bitcoin maybe he never minded, but just knew that it was happening and saw it that early. But then he's like, well, I know enough about it to like find the like lost wallets that other people just left behind. And I'm just going to look at them and find all those wallets with like no transactions and then claim they're all mine.
That's interesting. That's an interesting one. Because the other thing that could be interesting to like to kind of tag on to your unclaimed luggage theory, which I love, is like he's getting all this media attention. He's going on interviews. He's got people who are interested. You could create somewhat of a career off of just the like fame that you get. You could write books or articles, get paid for things. So it's not the worst theory.
And this is like a legend at this point in the whole like Bitcoin world. So yeah, totally.
Because I would write a book about like the time I lost $1 billion and try to capitalize on the attention that I've already garnered through like 10 years of interviews and things.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, he could have been playing the long game from the beginning.
The long con.
I don't know. But anyway.
And now he's got his currency.
Totally. Now he's launching his own currency. So
based on the lore.
Look, this is full tinfoil hat because like he's been very dedicated to this whole story the whole time and he's very consistent. But I was like, but what if?
But what if?
You know, what if? You don't know. And I think that's why this is all unverified, right? Like this is all based on what he says.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got to put on your tinfoil.
You got some, it's harmless.
You got to put on your hat and just explore the alien possibilities in the world.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
it's one of the joys of life.
Exactly. And then my very last one, which isn't like a full theory, but it's just like the number that he says, it drifts from 7,500 to 8,000. And so I'm like, well, what if he never even mined that many Bitcoin and he didn't even know how many he had? He just like randomly estimated and it's actually a lot less than that.
Oh,
so that's the less interesting theory, but that's one of the things that definitely occurred to me. I'm like, what if it was like 5 Bitcoin that's just sitting there?
I mean, I don't think that's that crazy because the thing is too, your memory, it gets worse over time.
Yeah.
And you're like, one of the things that I learned that's kind of interesting is every time you remember something, you're actually just remembering the memory.
The memory, yeah.
And so after like, and if you think about it, I mean, like, what is this? 15 years of remembering memories,
it reinforces the story that you want or that you're saying.
And as you're telling it, you could be like, oh yeah, I once had 50 Bitcoin, and then the next time you say it, you're like, yeah, I lost 100 Bitcoin, and the next thing you know, you've lost 8,000 Bitcoin,
and you're a billionaire. Yeah. So I think this one's really interesting because like also he did have this long period. It was multiple years where he like ignored it and didn't think about the wallet, and he didn't really register it until he saw that article. And so I'm like, well, how did he remember that he had that exact number? How did he like that seems kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
So this is my last one. So
I like it. I think that these are all good theories. Like, but oh my God. I mean, it's just fascinating story. And also, I mean, this feels like a pretty big pitfall of Bitcoin. Like if you want to get people bought into your currency, it's so easy to lose that you could just lose $1 billion because your hard drive is somewhere. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I just think that's kind of crazy. This is,
Yeah, it's a big one. So, our main character, James Howells, went through a lot during this whole period. But you know what? Tinfoil hat theories and all. James has been consistent in his story. So you want to believe in or not? Totally up to you. But this is the story of our $1 million loser or $1 billion loser. Sorry, no, James Howell is not a loser. He lost $1 billion.
Yes.
We think.
Maybe. We'll see.
Depending on your perspective. So,
well, this was fascinating. Thank you. I feel less unlucky because I've never lost $1 billion. So I appreciate you bringing the story to me today.
Cheers to James.
Let's take a sip of tea.